Hello, everyone. Welcome once again to the COGG Let's Play. Yay!
Yay!
I am your host, Caleb Eno, and this is...
Hi, I'm Lydia Eno.
Awesome. Welcome, Lydia. Glad to have you on once again. Do you remember the last time you were on?
It's been a very long time. Cuphead?
I know that you were on here for Cuphead, for sure.
I'm not sure. I mean, that was a long time ago. I think there was one before that, after that.
Yeah, I think you might be right. I'm trying to remember. We've done a lot of these, actually. We've been doing this since...
2020.
Was it 2020 was the first time we did the Let's Play? All right. Yep. Excellent.
Pretty sure. Might be wrong.
Okay. Just doing a quick check of some stuff on the stream.
I will say I'm hearing you in my headphones too. We should probably turn that off.
Do you want me to turn that off?
Yes, please.
Okay.
Sorry for the technical issues. We threw this together at the last minute.
Hold on. Actually, no. This is what I want to do.
That's much better, yes.
Okay, great. I like hearing your voice through my headphones, but
there's an echo.
There's a slight bit of echo. I am just going to run a quick check on the stream. Let's talk at the same time.
Hello?
Test 1, 2. Okay, quiet. Oh, that sounds great. That sounds fantastic. I love it. Okay. So it's a little weird wonky for...
No, It Takes Two. That's the last one we did.
Did we do that one for Let's Play?
Mm-hmm. We did. And we did it at night. And I was the first one on the stream, and it was a disaster. It was just me for a while, because you had to run upstairs, and I hadn't done the spiel, and I was trying to cover for our technical problems. But anyway,
as I like to say,
yes,
if something doesn't go wrong, it's not live, as we say. And this is going to be slightly embarrassing because I have forgotten to switch the image from last week. So I'm going to do that before we get to it real quick. But you were going to say something. Did you want to say something?
Who this stream is representing? I'm joining the stream, but I'm not the news here. This is the Central Ohio Game Dev Group Let's Play.
Yes.
It's been a while since I've done the spiel. So.
All right. Well, as I'm fussing with this image thing off to the side here.
The Central Ohio Game Dev Group is a group of people passionate about game design and development who happen to live in the Central Ohio area. But also there are other people who are part of the community, participate remotely through there's a Discord, and
there's a great Discord. We got a phenomenal Discord
through these videos, and there are multiple events a month. I'm trying to remember all the things. There are several events designed to get people together to learn more about game design, and then to work together as creators. There are all levels of development, from amateur, I'm just learning and trying to figure this out, all the way through expert professional game designers and developers. I'm saying all the wrong words.
You did great. No, you're doing fantastically.
The community would love to have you, if no matter what stage of interest or skill that you have.
Absolutely.
I'm not officially a part of the community.
What does it mean to be officially a part? You've come to events. You're part of COGG.
Okay. But it has really meant a lot to a lot of people, and I'm so thankful that it exists, and that I get to show up sometimes and show up at a couple of events and participate in some live streams and things as we break down games, and as we kind of really dig into the design elements and figure out how what it is to make a good game, and the details behind gaming. This Let's Play is a breakdown of a lot of the particular design aspects to help you, as you play games, slow down and think about how was this game made? What makes this game work? So you can continue to analyze and grow as a designer and developer, and really think about what makes games different from other media and what makes a good game, what makes something work, what makes something interesting and compelling and fun. And that's what this Let's Play is for, to educate and to, am I spieling enough?
You did such a good job. Such a good job. Yeah. So we're obviously located in Central Ohio, but I do want to say, so we've got somebody on there from Georgia right now.
Hey.
So we've got people, we've got people, I know at least one person who's from Germany. Like, we've got people who have joined part of what's going on from all over the place. So it's going to limit your ability to come to in-person physical events if you're not in Ohio. But you are more than welcome to hang out in our Discord and chat and visit us virtually.
Yep.
We've got a great community of people who care about helping one another with code questions, with design questions, with feedback on art and animations, sound effects, music composition, all kind of people from all kinds of walks of life who just love making games. And it's super great to be part of it. So with that in mind, we are going to be talking about a game today called Dome Keeper. This is one that's been on my radar for a little bit recently. It came out in September 22. This actually may be the first time that we're playing a Godot game on the channel. Now, fun fact, Godot has been around for a while. I should know how long, actually. I don't know off the top of my head.
Google that while you're talking.
But Godot has gained a lot of popularity recently after Unity stuck their proverbial foot in their mouths real bad with the runtime fee debacle this year. So, gosh, was that this year? It seems like so much has happened.
Godot, well, yeah. Godot has been around since 2014.
14, great. Yeah, so in many ways, Godot is as featureful as Unity or a lot of other things. It's existed for a long time. I do believe it is also C#, and potentially even more truly C# than Unity is, since Unity has a couple of wrapper things and is currently operating in kind of an older version of C#. A lot of people in our community love working with Godot. We've got a number of games that are in process using Godot right now. So if it is a great engine to check out what's going on in Godot. But yeah, there's check out Godot. But this is our first game, I believe, that we're going to play on the Let's Play that actually has been built in Godot, and I'm excited to walk us through it. Godot had a period of time where it was predominantly geared towards more of a two-dimensional thing, but we've got people in our community right now who are building three-dimensional games in Godot, so it's definitely powerful. There's a note about the terrain system needing some more work on it, but so definitely check out Godot, and we're going to talk about this game more. So if I can find the window that I was looking for. We kind of threw together the two of us doing this today last second. So
some details did not get ironed out. And also, I will have to duck out shortly here for about 15 minutes.
Let's see. That's what I'm looking for. Yeah, so Dome Keeper was developed by Bippin Bits, which is just a fun name. It's really, I really enjoy it. And it was published by Raw Fury, built on the Godot engine, and it's a really nice little game. I'm going to go ahead and see if I can figure out why this isn't working. That's why it's not working. Just thinking about it. There it is. Oh, what have I done?
There.
And where's the camera? Camera is gone.
Oh no! What happened?
It is in the wrong spot. Completely. Reset transformation. Okay. Let's do that, and let's shrink us down. Little heads. Little people heads. Doomp.
I do remember when we did the Cuphead live stream, we had like how many people on there?
Well, it was because the Cuphead TV show
just come out.
had just been announced, and I think
Or
we
it
had
had
like,
just released.
was it just released? And it was like
There were like hundreds of
people
from not Ohio.
like orders of magnitude more
pretty
than
wild.
we've ever usually had, which is hilarious. It was quite something. Okay. So Dome Keeper, I'm also realizing that the audio from the game is definitely not going out onto the stream.
I can't hear it, so
Oh, you also can't hear
I
it.
can't hear it either.
I can probably fix that.
There we are.
All right. Sweet. So, Dome Keeper. I have played a decent bit of this one, and I really like it. It is fun, and which is important when you have a game, that it is fun. Okay, so basic premise, it is a roguelike. So your game consists of a run, and your character is this little dude who flies around. The engineer is the default character, and you can fly around here. And this is the menu, and I think there's things I love about this menu, and other things that's a little more frustrating about this menu. But let's start with the things I love about this menu. The menu is actually using the main game as the menu.
Okay.
So this is actually what it looks like to play the game. So if you go up to the top here, you can see there's a dome. There's a dome up here, and this is actually what it will look like in the game. There's this area you can fly around. You can see these bricks. You can actually destroy these bricks by mining. And this is actually the core of the game. And you can actually do this, and you can break these apart, and you can have little resources, and they're right there. And yeah, so this is actually the game. It's the same set of mechanics. They've limited a couple things, like normally you can pick these up, but they don't let you do that in the menu. And so the fact that the game in the menu gives you a feel for what it means to actually move around and like engage with the world, it's really neat. I love that. What I don't like about the menu is that unless you kind of, and I think some of the stuff initially isn't even available. I think they actually, this section here is gone, and I think this section here is gone, and maybe this section here also isn't here initially. So they do kind of like add to the menu a little bit incrementally, but it's kind of, unless you know what all of the options are, you can miss some stuff really easily. And so in order to actually start your run, you have to make a number of selections. You have to select your character, which is here. This section is your meta progression section. So if you've played something like Vampire Survivors, where you kind of unlock different abilities and then you can turn them on or turn them off for a given run, that's what's going on here. So you can complete specific special objectives, you get badges, and then you can unlock these, and then you can turn them on and off depending on kind of what kind of run you want to do. So yeah, we'll talk more about that as we go through. You have to choose gadgets. So these are things that are built into your base to give you additional benefits. As you discover them, they come here and then allow you to kind of start with one from the beginning. You get different dome unlocks, so different styles of domes that have different core gameplays, and then you get these primary gadgets that have a different effect on how they operate in the world. And what we're going to do is, just for our first run, we're going to do a pretty simple initial run just to kind of show you some of the ropes here. There are 3 main game modes. Relic Hunt is the default game mode. You'll notice that when you switch the game modes, a bunch of stuff changed in the menu. This is actually the thing that I find the most complicated and frustrating about it, is it's because it changed, it's easy to kind of get lost and like misunderstand where things are. Obviously, like the first couple of times you do it, you're good after that, but that first time is a little bit more confusing.
I'm checking out those difficulties.
Oh yeah,
That's quite the collection of.
And what's funny about that, so as a game designer, I always want to kind of play the game at the level of difficulty that was the intended level of difficulty. You and I have had this conversation all of the time. I always play on normal, whatever. But normal, in this particular case, is the easiest
easy mode,
version. So they've kind of like renamed it, and brutal is actually the intended difficulty. And I found that it's totally reasonable. I think they maybe overblew it by calling it brutal.
It's communicating something. You're trying to communicate that your game is going to be more challenging by kind of tipping the sizes. It's like, it's like Starbucks sizes trying to convince you that every size is actually bigger than what you need. Like, a small is a tall.
Grande.
Yeah. And so everyone is a version of big. So this is, and the reason you do that is because you're trying to communicate that, hey, we're giving you a little extra. In this case, they're trying to say this game is going to be more challenging. And, maybe you're going to lose out on some players by making that choice, but they're trying to pick the players who would be interested in a challenge. So it's communicating what kind of game this is.
So we do have run modifiers. That's probably self-explanatory, but it basically things that can alter how the run works. So this one is monsters move faster but have less health. So we're going to do a brutal, we're going to do a small map, we're going to do a relic hunt. This is the default mode. We're going to do laser dome with a shield. We're not going to have an additional gadget. And so this is the core thing. You can do near and far camera zoom. I don't know why they give you this option. And from a design perspective, I don't know why they give you this option, because there is zero advantage for you to have the near camera. It is actually a disadvantage to your gameplay. So maybe if you're like trying to prove something or whatever, you can use near. There's actually an item that you can collect in the randomly generated mine that intentionally widens your camera view.
Okay.
Like double this, which is only advantageous. Like the more zoomed out screen space is only advantageous. So I don't understand why they actually let you make this decision. I feel like they kind of should have landed on that. I don't know. That's just that's very interesting to me.
It might have to do with fine print.
That's interesting.
It might be an accessibility.
That could be an accessibility thing. Okay. I could follow.
Is print a bigger deal kind of later in the game?
No.
Then
other than reading descriptions of things,
right.
Not really.
So this is an area where you want people to be able to read and to not have to be squinting. Like if we're playing this on the computer right now. If we were having this on our TV, like we sometimes do, it would be really difficult to read, and so it would be maybe advantageous to do near just to pick.
I could buy that. You've convinced me. I could buy that.
So maybe not for the game, but maybe just for the menu.
Yeah. I'm going to turn this off just so we can have an initial pure run. Okay, so we're going to start the run. So, a la Deep Rock Galactic, you are working from some kind of mining guild, going to planets and mining them, and of course, harming the wildlife while you do that. Case in point.
Yeah.
And the wildlife isn't super thrilled. Okay, so I'm going to pause it for a second. A couple things as we go in. Timing matters. And so as the game time progresses, you kind of have to keep moving, because effectively what's going to happen is they're going to throw waves of enemies at you, and you have to get back to the dome to defend it. And you have to upgrade the dome while you're doing that, and you have to make choices about your upgrade paths. There are some great moments where they actually pause the game for you, which we'll talk about. But for the moment, we're just going to go ahead and descend into the mine.
I think I might need to duck out at this instant, and I will be back in 15 or 20 minutes.
Okay, sounds good. Everybody say bye, Lydia. Bye. So what we're going to do here... Oops, sorry. So it's just WSAD movement. Now you got it right, Davide. And you just move in the direction of where you're trying to mine. And every time you hit a particular block, blocks have a certain amount of health, and every time you hit them, they'll break, and then that will open up a new pathway. Some of them take longer than others. You can actually tell what kind of block you're going to run into based on its density. So the more kind of the rock chunks are bigger, the more rock chunks, then the harder it is going to be able to break it. There's actually zones as you go down, the color changes, and that acts as a modifier that increases the difficulty of that chunk. Hey, welcome, the artists. Yes, Dome Keeper is fantastic, and I love it. So there are 3 kinds of minerals that we can find. Iron, water, and... oh gosh, what is it called? Cobalt, I think. Cobalt is these triangular ones. So we just found some cobalt. Yeah, so you can pick those up, and they've got this kind of little physics-based grapple hook kind of deal. Oh, got some iron. Great. Iron is usually in veins. Now, the thing is that these do have a weight to them. So the more that you carry, the slower you move. So we got to carry these back up to our dome. And then we got the chompers. The chompers will grab them. And then we can sit at the computer. Now notice, as soon as you sit at the computer, the game pauses. This is a very pro player thing to do, because at this point you are effectively in a menu system, and to conserve the player's time, it just pauses the game for you whole stop, and I think that is a really, really phenomenal choice. So at this point, you have a couple of options. You can either exit with Q, you can go into your upgrades menu, or you can go into battle mode. We're going to go into the upgrades menu. When you start out, you have, depending on your dome, your character, and what the default weapon system is and what the default primary gadget is of your dome, then you will have these additional upgrades. I think actually this chunk at the top is the same regardless of which dome you start with, but then the 4 different dome choices will impact what this particular tree is. So let's see here. Just realizing this actually may not be showing. Let me do this. Capture cursor. I'll bet that would actually help. Because let's see here. Oh, there we go. Okay. Sorry, it wasn't showing the cursor previously, and that was probably, I was pointing things out and it wasn't helping probably. Okay, so yeah, so this section here, this is going to depend upon the dome you've selected, and so will this. Or I guess this is the shield, and this is the dome's main weapon. Early on, I have personally found it benefits to upgrade your character, because initially your character moves very slow, cannot carry very much, and has a very weak drill. It's kind of an even money decision on what you want to go with when you do your upgrade pass. I've been trying out a couple different ones, whether it's drill, whether it's the movement speed, or whether it's the weight carry. Now, you can click on any of these, and they actually give you all of the details from a stats perspective of how fast, of what stats each of them is going to affect. So initially you see drill strength is 2, the top speed that you can move is 56, and then as you carry things, it's going to slow you down. So each one is going to add to how much your character is going to slow down. So you can see this is moving drill strength from 2 to 7. movement speed from 56 to 74, and carry slowdown from 5.7 to 2.15. They've clearly done a lot of tuning with this, and I would say that generally speaking, it feels pretty good, the progression through these. So yeah, let's go ahead and for the moment, let's back out of the menu and let's just try to get ourselves some more iron, because that's what's gonna kind of limit our ability to get some really important upgrades here. We found some iron. That's only gonna give us 1. That's unfortunate. Iron usually gives us 2, so, you know. Oh, that's the sound. That's the sound. We're in trouble. We're in trouble. All right, back to the dome. We're pausing. We're going to do combat now. So we have hit our first wave. And the first wave, I think, thankfully, is just one enemy. So you'll notice that there is that little pulsing nodule on the top of the dome. That is our laser cannon. We'll be able to pan it back and forth. It's going to give us a little cursor, and that cursor will dictate where we want it to move, but it's not going to be instantaneous. The laser has a move speed, and so the move speed we can increase later, but it's going to move towards wherever our cursor is. So let's go ahead and try it out. There we go. Okay. All right. So that was our first combat. You can upgrade the sensors on your dome so that as you increase that, it will give you more forewarning about when a wave is coming. It is actually a fairly consistent rate, but it's, you know, if the further down you go into the mine, the more important it is to know when they're coming. So let's go ahead and let's try to see if we can't find ourselves one more iron in here somewhere. There's some cobalt. Cobalt is fairly rare. Ooh, there's some iron. Perfect. Let's see if we can get all 5 of these. Ah, that's too slow. So you can right-click to let go. That is actually can be very strategically helpful. Just to lighten your load and move a little faster. Alright, let's see. I'm gonna go with the drill. It's like blood rain outside. Delightful. Oh, see, that drill is already so much better. Okay, there's some water. So a quick note here. So when the map, as you dig through it, you only have a certain amount of sight into the different resources. So there's a layer here where you can kind of see what it is, but then the other side you can't. So there are ways to upgrade that, but initially I try to kind of do this maneuver where I leave 2 rows. So I go 2 rows and then the next one, and that lets me know what is inside of each particular piece. All right, here we go. Here's a little bit more. I'm gonna get my path back. Grab a couple of these. That should be enough to upgrade carrying capacity. Oh, here they come. It's the creepy music again. All right. Let's do carrying capacity. Oh, the carrying capacity is so much better already. Now, I have played with both a depth-first approach and a breadth-first approach. I don't quite know which one is better. My hunch is that it's probably breadth first. Oh, this is also another pro player choice, is when you put your items up to go into the chomper, it does take time for them to go through the chomper. When you pause the game by going into the dome and sitting down at the console, they continue to process through the chomper. They do not pause, which means you don't have to lose precious time to them going through the chomper, which is so good. That kind of a thing is really, I'm a really big fan of that kind of design. Okay, so we got inventory management. This takes water, which we've got a water. Let's go ahead and let's click that up. Let's grab that one. This one tells you how many waves you've survived. They just get progressively more difficult. The thing I'd like to get to is probably this one, but I want to get speed first, so we'll come back once we get speed. Because we're moving at a snail's pace here. And the art here is nice, but it's not like, oh, oops. Let's see, how much is our laser upgrades? Let's see. Let's increase our movement speed. I think at this point we probably want that. Welcome back, Liddy. All right, going to battle mode.
Ooh.
Yes. Okay, so there's a couple of different enemy types that we are encountering. That one that we've seen twice now, that one just kind of runs straight at the dome and starts attacking it. It is stuck to either the left or right side. The one that we just introduced here is an enemy that comes in, flies, and shoots projectiles. So it doesn't directly impact the dome, but it does shoot projectiles at it. And what it will do is it will go to the left side or the right side first, and then it will flip-flop back and forth between the two. That kind of stuff is really nice because it's playing in good synergy with the fact that your laser cannon is slow and it doesn't move very quickly. That's really I literally just said the same thing twice. It's slow and that it doesn't move really quickly. And because of that, chasing it is a no-go. Like, you're not going to succeed at chasing it back and forth, but you know that it's going to consistently swap back between the two positions. And so you can combine timing with enemies that are coming to either left or right side and prep for when it's going to be on that side to make sure you catch it when it's on that side so you can get rid of it. I like things like that are kind of working synergistically with the rest of the systems in your game. Oh, yes, I just bought the speed upgrade to the laser, and now I don't have enough to get my speed upgrade for myself, which is what I was going to do. And if you see that solid wall, the solid walls are not destructible, at least not initially. Also, you can see that they can get caught in the terrain, which, by the way, can really get you into trouble.
It's interesting that you don't just collect it in a menu, that you have the physical objects that you're dragging around.
Yes, it doesn't just go into an invisible inventory. You actually have to manage the objects directly. Yeah, this one is much more difficult to get through. Oh, this one's even more. Too. Yeah, they have a nice little sound to them.
It's a little bit of a Proteus kind of thing.
Oh, yeah. The clanking. I like the clanking.
It's musical clanking.
It is musical clanking. Not just noise, yeah. I need more iron. Oh, here come the enemy. Yeah, see, we got that upgrade, and so now it's blinking to let us know they're coming. Oh, I pushed the wrong button. What'd I do?
Oops. What?
I went over in the wrong...
Green? Oh, there we go. There we go.
I don't know what happened. Oh, now I am gonna have to chase it.
So is that a crack on our dome?
It's a crack in our dome. Yep, because our dome has received some damage. We don't actually know how much damage it has received yet, because that is a particular upgrade. And I'm hurting for iron.
Does that music indicate anything, or is that just the regular music?
That is just the regular music. The damage machine is damaged. Here we go.
Oh, hey.
Iron.
Yay.
More than we can carry. But it should be enough to get us the speed upgrade. Oh, we're moving so slowly. Alright, let's grab that.
So I was reflecting on the color scheme.
Oh yeah, we can talk about that too.
Yeah.
Go ahead though. What's your observations?
They're complementary colors. We've got purple and well, I guess it's not entirely complementary because it's purple and orange instead of purple and yellow. Which is but that's a match of colors that you don't see all the time. Which is interesting and unique. But it gives this sense of being like it's twilight. So you give like a we've got this the creatures coming out at night kind of thing. Okay.
And so we have a new enemy type. So you see the group of little guys. So they'll run in a group and then they'll jump up and try to they'll explode once they get to the dome. So you have to get them right away. And my laser is entirely on the wrong side.
No.
Oh. Oh, that's a problem up. All right, let's do.
What's nice about colors on the opposite side of the color wheel is that communicates light and shadow, but you still have color. So I mean, I guess this is sort of a bluey purple and an orangey red. You've got the kind of mixture of both, and so you can have vibrant colors, but also be communicating where the light is coming from and where the shadows are coming from, and you can create really good contrast. And these... Oh, wait, sorry.
It's kind of like a hue variation.
Hue variation, yeah.
Now, I'm about to blow your mind.
Okay, blow my mind.
Because I have played multiple rounds of this. Okay. The color scheme changes.
Because it's time of day, right?
Not just because of time of day. There are different worlds. And different worlds have different color schemes. And it changes like everything. So there's like a cool blue wash one, a greeny one, a more orange one. And so there's actually a whole bunch of different color schemes that are available in the game. They've got some shader that's playing some good magic and everything.
Well, it's really great because it's colors that communicate place. Because yes, we have this design, this art on the background. But colors give such a unique vibe already that you already are establishing kind of what's your... Ooh, is that can you get enemies down here?
So you can see them, but they never hurt you or attack you. There's no combat down in the mine. But you do see them popping around.
Yeah.
Nice.
It also, when you can have color like this, it makes your game more appealing. And you have like color and sound. We talk about how part of games is the fun factor, and part of it is the enjoyment and the delight in like this really sweet little music that's playing, and just really pretty colors.
Sorry, I'm very focused. This is a nice haul, though.
Yeah.
Just in time to get back to the dome for the next wave. Do I upgrade myself or do I upgrade the dome? Isn't that always the question? Tell you what, we're going to upgrade the shield. Okay. So there's a couple of things that they do that are actually like active abilities, which is really nice. So like this Electroblast line is actually an active ability that you can use during combat. This is Overcharge. I'm going to get both of these. So I'm going to increase the shield and I'm going to get the Overcharge. Both of these are really nice. So you can go over here to the shield generator. You can spend a water and you can overcharge the shield. It'll give you an extra boost for the next combat. Ooh, one other fun detail about this. So the laser is powerful but slow. But when you're shooting the laser, it's even slower. Which I think that's another, like you can't just beam sweep around. If you actually want to move, you have to stop firing.
It reminds me of, oh gosh, the bunnies. The space bunnies.
The space bunnies.
The game that we play.
Oh, Lovers in a Dangerous Space-Time.
Yeah.
Yeah, they did the same thing.
It's a very similar kind of design in that aspect of the way that the laser moves.
The laser also has a slowdown effect. So when you're hitting an enemy, that enemy slows down, and you can also increase how much it slows down the enemy.
Yeah, we were talking about color and how, I mean...
Oh, shoot. I just realized.
Everything okay?
Everything's fine.
Okay. How color can communicate a place really well and like a location really well. How, like, if you have, like... I mean, you see this all the time. Like, if you have a blue world, you're like, that's an ocean world. If you have a green one, there's a forest. I mean, there are things that are communicating... Oh, I like the sound of this.
Yeah, this is something special we just found. So this is a relic.
Okay. And the sound communicated it with something very different.
All right, so
nice.
Let's grab that, bring her back up.
And there's some good conversation happening in the chat about the specifics over color theory stuff. I'm going to get all those words wrong, and I.
Okay, so when you find one of these, it lets you pick a gadget. So there are different slots in your dome that allow you to add machines to it. So I think there's a couple of different slots. So like the cellar has 2 slots. There's the back side of the dome. There's the dome shaft is another one, and it lets you just add special features that will help you out. You always have this option to shred to cobalt. Cobalt is how you repair your dome. And so once you receive damage, you can use cobalt to repair it. So these are often very helpful. So this is a furnace. It creates smoke, and that is going to delay the next monster attack. That could be really helpful. This is a condenser, which produces water for you slowly. This is also really helpful, especially with the shield overcharger, because the shield overcharger uses water, and so it kind of guarantees you always get to overcharge the shield, which is very helpful. I think I'm going to go ahead and grab the condenser. And it nicely gives you a water to begin with. All right, let's go ahead and increase the drill. Oh, I'm 1 short. Alas. I know that there's a bunch of iron down there, so I'm just going to go ahead and do that.
I mean, there's iron you haven't collected yet.
I know. No. Oh, shoot. The monsters are coming. I know. I'm in trouble. Oh, no. All right. I was not paying attention.
No.
I'm gonna overcharge the shield.
I really like the animation on those the people-shaped enemies, how they sort of glom onto the dome when they pull off.
Oh yeah, they're great.
Yeah, they're just enemies done in silhouette, but they're just slightly unsettling. Ooh.
Oh yeah, this is the seed.
Okay.
So the seed is useful. It lets you plant a tree on top of a resource, and then it will grow more of that resource.
Nice.
Unfortunately, I don't have any resources that I want to grow from it yet. I'm skipping that water for the moment because it isn't worth it to me. It means nothing to me. I am trying to be a little bit strategic about which walls I'm breaking, because the harder to break walls take longer.
Yeah.
And since time is important... shoot. There, this is better.
You end up with these sort of natural mazes then.
Yeah, a little bit. Once again, 500 years of black men, I've walked this earth, and now I have no time. Okay, they come.
Alright.
Let's say laser beam.
Makes sense.
That's a pretty significant jump up in laser capability. It's also a fairly significant increase in the amount of enemies that are spawning.
So do you think that the two are definitely related, or would the enemies increase regardless?
I believe, and I don't know this for a fact, but I believe the enemies would increase regardless.
Okay. But you did it just in time then.
Exactly. Oh, this wall is so hard. I need to find another way. Oh, this is the same wall. Okay.
You still have the seed attached?
I still have the seed. It doesn't really affect my move speed at all.
Okay.
So...
it's a good decision to make, to have, if you want...
Oh, you know what? I totally should have just put the seed down on this.
Nice.
There, that should do it.
There it goes.
Yep.
If you want your characters to be able to... you want to encourage them to get as many resources as possible, then you want to not add any extra encumbering to that. You know, what are you incentivizing your players to do? What do you want to make easy? What do you want to make work?
Maybe this.
Where do you want being intentional about where you want the challenge to be, and not having to add extra challenge in places where it shouldn't exist.
That's a good point. Yeah, being really intentional about what is it that you're asking your players to do, and being careful that you're not asking them to do something that they don't actually want to do.
Which is that's a tricky balance to find.
Yes.
And that's part of what makes a game fun. If there's not enough challenge, then that's not very fun. But if there's too much challenge, that's not very fun either. It's like finding the equilibrium between for how difficult a challenge should be and how many elements should be difficult. We've been discussing this with some other games that we've been working on and playing through. What does your game need and what doesn't it need? You know, sometimes there can be a tendency to we've got to make this a more complicated thing, and we have to make this a feature in our game. And just being able to be willing to say, no, like, these are the things that are a part of our game. These are the systems that we're working with. This is where the challenge is, and this isn't. And that is really valuable to be able to identify what you're actually doing and what matters and what you want your player to spend time on and energy and effort learning how to progress.
Oh,
Another artifact?
I don't know what that is.
It looks like a bomb.
It might be. Oh, you know what? I've seen this before.
Okay, what is it? Whee! Ooh.
It's a bomb. It goes infinitely in whatever direction until it hits one of those walls. Oh, well, I found a whole bunch of stuff, and I can't carry it.
Yeah, there's some conversation about from
Paper Mario.
Yeah, Paper Mario.
Use of the bow in the first two was not fun at all.
Yeah.
And then they reworked how the bow works to make it more fun, and that kind of stuff is really great, especially if you're running a series. Like, a new game in a series is an opportunity to take a hard look at what worked and what didn't work in a particular game and make it work. Oh, I only have 6.
Or, sometimes that means adding features, and sometimes, I'm using vocabulary that I have no business using.
Hey, you're fine.
Sometimes it means like adding things to your game, and sometimes that means taking things away, things that were distracting.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I know that we found that to be true with Tears of the Kingdom, that there was plenty added, and then there were some things where they're like, yeah, we're not going to worry about this anymore. This is not a, this you don't need to carry this one. We'll just take care of it for you.
Okay, we need this. All right. Will we survive?
This art too, the environment, it looks like giant legs.
Oh, you're right, it does.
And so it looks like there's like it gives this sense of being a small thing about to be attacked by a larger thing. Which it's funny considering that the plot of the game is actually we're the ones who are coming in and destroying. But as the players, we want to feel like what we're doing is important, and we're a little guy against a big force, and that environment's art thing really conveys that, even if it is kind of in cognitive dissonance with the reality of the circumstances.
I know for a fact that there's a whole pile of iron down here. Can I get away with a couple more? Little anglerfish.
There's a nice joke there in the chat.
What is it?
Oh, a joke that considering putting a game about how the protagonist has a pocket of infinite holding, and the king asking for a recommendation for their tailor, and being told, well, he said his life's work was complete. That is another, even though it doesn't slow you down, the fact that you are limited in what you can hold, that's a stat you increase over time?
Yes, so it's weight. And so, well, okay, I'm not exactly sure how they calculate it.
Okay.
But basically it's every item slows you down, and then by a certain percentage, and so the more items you're carrying, the more they cause a slowdown. Just checking this block here to see if they have
any other resources.
My drill's a lot better now, so just going straight up is easier.
Better. Oop, oop, oop.
I know, I got it. I'm on the leader. This run's taking a little bit longer than I thought it was going to.
Hey, you're doing well. Whee!
Now, I haven't had one of them get to the dome yet, but you can actually see this guy is a big, slow guy.
Yeah.
When he gets to the dome, he has these big, like, boom hits.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm running out of time. Unfortunate that. Okay, time to use some more cobalt. I haven't been boosting my shield either. That's been part of my problem.
Yeah. It's
okay. Speed.
Just looking
there we go.
The creature design and the knowing the game's premise and building cognitive dissonance into the game, where through the design styles, where your character is so cute, look, it's like a little fairy, and you're like exploiting resources and like coming into a planet and like strip mining it, and the planet is mad about that, and the enemies look like creepy and like chilling and ghost-like, and you just look so cute and happy and nice, and building this cognitive dissonance of like, we know what the meta story is, but we are fully on board with this protagonist, largely because of design decisions.
So I'm going to talk about mining.
Okay.
So mining and I have this weird relationship. Back in my RuneScape days, anybody else have RuneScape days back in the day? I just loved mining. I don't know what it was. You just click on the rock and then you go like wait for your character to like collect it, and then you click on the next rock and you just keep doing that forever. Man, I loved mining so much, and mining, and I just have always loved mining as a mechanic in game. I've actually thought a lot about how could I build a game that uses mining or something like that. There's a game, I think it was called Motherlode.
Okay.
Which was very similar to this.
Okay.
It was an old Flash game back in the day when Flash games were the in thing.
R.I.P.
Yeah. Long since. But it was so much fun. You were this drill, and you would drill down, and you'd find gems, and the gems you could sell and then get money, and then you could use the money to upgrade your drill. It was all about how far could you get down. And it was the frickin' most addicting thing ever. I absolutely loved that game so much. And wow, yeah. Loved that game. And this feels similar in so many ways. You dive down, you then I'm not realizing to keep track of my time here. And you upgrade your stuff with what you collect. Oh. All right. New enemy. Oh.
It's like a tentacle-y pterodactyl.
That's one of those big guys.
It's coming for you. Oh, you got him.
Oh, they didn't give me very much resistance there. They just gave me those two. I'll bet what happens is I'm trying to think and play at the same time. I'll bet what happens is that they actually have a enemy cost per each round.
Ooh, hey.
Yeah, another upgrade. And
I love the music of that.
it's really nice. It's very satisfying.
Yeah, it reminds me of Proteus, which was a interactive experience, like really rudimentary graphics, but like a really cool,
like 3-dimensional but Atari level graphics.
Yeah, and that every object made a different sound. Ooh, we've got some rain.
Blood Rain. We saw it a little bit earlier when you were gone.
Okay.
Whoa, these are 2 new ones that I haven't. Install a laser that auto-targets and stuns monsters. That's a new one. Iron worms. Grow portable extractor worms that attach to iron clusters and efficiently extract them over time. That actually sounds like the tree, but as a gadget.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah, that's interesting.
It also reminds me of the sound. It also reminds me of Fez a lot, and even some of the aesthetics.
Okay, I could buy that.
And it's funny because those 2 games were from the same era of games, and this takes pieces, is doing similar things.
Did we finish mining this out? Yeah, we did. Okay.
The sound makes me really happy. I think that's part of what is satisfying. Is like some good sound effects that when you're doing work and there's a response, a like sound effects response.
Yeah.
It's a good choice to make.
Ooh. Great. I'm gonna go down this. I think this was the bombs path that blew up around here. Yeah, I thought there was some... Oh.
No, that's not the bombs path. That's the tree.
Yes, that's the tree, but I meant this horizontal path that I was on. Gotta go, go. They're here!
Conversation about how do you make sound effects? What do you use?
Oh,
to kind of do things?
that's great.
Well, I mean, some suggestions about making sound effects in LMMS or Guitar Tux. I'm not familiar with those programs.
No, I haven't used either of those. I have to check them out.
Then hack them together in Audacity until it sounds right.
Now that's familiar.
LMMS is like Fruity Loops, but open source.
All right.
Whoa, it looks like it has eyeballs.
Interesting. I didn't realize that the tree grew so much more. I've only ever let the tree go onto one block. I've only ever saved one block for the tree. I haven't let it grow over a bunch before.
You delve too deeply.
Too greedily.
Greedily and too deep. Ooh, hey. They're like lamprit. They're like...
Oh. Actually, I just found the, this is the relic.
Okay.
This is the thing that I have to get to win the game.
Oh, hey. Well, that's cool.
Yeah, so the relic has little nodules. You can see them kind of flowing off the two sides. You have to go turn them on and power them in order to collect it. I am going to collect some more of this. Wasn't actually a very successful mining run.
You were just going deep. Didn't collect as many.
May not necessarily have been a good idea.
Well, but you found the end game. That's not a bad thing.
I'm 4 away from the next laser upgrade. Alright. This could be a problem.
Ooh, oh, they like burrow?
Yeah, so those ones, what they do is they will go forward and burrow. Yes, I know.
What is that gigantic thing? What does that one do?
That.
Ooh. You got the thing with the big arms.
Yep. We're okay.
Okay.
I was nervous, you were nervous. Oh, there you go. This is pretty soft ground here. This is good to dig through.
Yeah, so you need to find these arms. That's what you were saying?
Oh, yeah, so it has little tendrils.
Okay.
And those tendrils go out to, like, power nodes or something.
Okay.
And you have to activate them, and
Okay.
that will allow you to open it. They are also very convenient because if you find them first, they'll actually tell you where it is because you just follow them back to the source.
Oh, I see. I see what you mean by the arms.
Yeah, they kind of look like thread.
Yeah.
Oh, man, I could really use one more.
I was going to say worms, but you were correct.
Yes.
Thread.
Yes. Worms is a decent way to describe it as well. I need one more iron still, though, before I can get the next upgrade.
Well, maybe by the time you get up there,
the tree will have
produced more iron.
Let's see.
Ooh, storms.
There's another dome type that I think is really interesting. Maybe if we have time, I'll take pull it out and see.
Shoot.
Yep. Tree, you failed me.
Those lights look like little lampreys, which is always creepy.
I don't think I'm gonna make it. Ooh, we're gonna get close.
Ooh. You got it. Barely.
All right, we got lots of cobalt, so we're okay for the moment.
Okay.
I really need that next laser upgrade. I was thinking of getting more health, but I really need that next laser upgrade, so we're gonna go to that.
Nice.
Oh, nice. Okay. The tree really came through for me this time.
Ooh. Oh, hey.
Yeah, there's the node. I think we have to put an iron into it to activate it.
Well, good thing we had a bunch of iron. Worked out well.
That's one. Oh, I think it's gone.
Yeah, it went down.
down. At least this ground is really soft.
It's convenient. There we go.
Alright. We could, in theory, get the relic now, but I'm strategically going to not for a second.
Okay.
Because I want to see if we can power up our base a little bit more. Because once you collect it, then you get hit with a big group of bad guys.
So you want to make sure that you've got
whatever you can, yeah. So we don't need to upgrade my character anymore.
So it's finding that balance between
yes.
Again, the two different kinds of challenge.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's one of the things that's really fun too about this tech tree is like you can tell this tech tree goes up higher, but this is a small map. What's supposed to be a shorter run, and so you shouldn't expect to get all the way up some of these tech trees. Yeah, definitely need that, and that would also be helpful. Let's see. These aren't very expensive. Okay. That is not very expensive. One of those might be worth it. Also, not.
Just a moment.
Okay. Let's see if we can get another run in here. Oh no, because we're about to get a wave. Never mind. little popping sounds for the little guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, so these guys will burrow and then they'll pop back out. So you think you got them,
Yeah.
but you didn't actually get them.
Pop out of the snow like daisies.
Popping out of the snow. Like daisies. I'm making sure I have a straight down.
So what's your goal that you want to try and do before you hit the end game?
Yeah, good question. There's a large chunk of stuff down here. So I think getting a decent chunk of this back to the surface would be good.
Okay. Yeah, so you want to have that if you're
Get over.
designing the relic, like where it is. You want to have it parameters where it is going to be deeper in the mine. Like you're going to have to like design like levels of stuff so that it is satisfying to find. You don't want to find it too early and then hit your end game before you have to like struggle.
Yes. Yes. I don't know if the power level of the final wave is dictated by how long you've played for, or if it's just always the same depending on the difficulty. If it's always the same depending on the difficulty, then it is always advantageous to try to finish the mine first.
What does finishing the mine, what does that look like?
Mostly just you've kind of looked through the whole thing and it looks like you've gotten everything. I always miss stuff. It's always funny because, like, oh, if I would have just gone a little bit further to the right or just a little bit further to the left. This is actually really cool because it actually will show you.
And at the end?
At the end.
Oh,
you can actually
cool.
look at the whole mine.
Well, that's fun.
It's a great little thing that they add on to the end of the game.
Yeah, because then it's like when you play Minesweeper.
Oh, yeah,
like,
it reveals at the end. Yeah. It's a little bit like that, actually. Yeah. Okay.
That's what the thing was. And that it's interesting how you're building in regret into the gameplay.
That's an interesting way to put it.
But there's something good about, oh, if only I had,
Yes.
where you are encouraging especially with a roguelike, you're encouraging, regret is a feature. You're encouraging multiple plays, like playthroughs. And so you want to give like a reason, especially with the game with a shorter run. You want to make playing again fun, and so you want to try and find different things, whether that's like you can find different items or upgrade or unlock different kinds of levels, but being able to see, oh dang it, like I should have done this better, or I could have been more efficient, like that's really satisfying. I'm doing a run of Stardew Valley right now. I had a pretty thorough run that I was doing, and then the update happened and it nuked everything. I was so close to like having all the having gotten all the achievements and all the stuff, and then a whole bunch of things got added. So I'm doing a new run right now, and it is satisfying to be like, I'm this much more efficient because I've learned all these new tips and tricks, and I there were things I regretted before, and now I figured things out. And so being able to say like, here's a mine, here's what you missed, you can analyze that as a player and be like, oh man, I could have gone here, or maybe I should have done it like this. And so you want to try again to be more efficient, and that satisfaction at having done something better on a different time, that is a really good reason for replayability. Yeah, there's in the chat talking about if you play a game too many times, you come up with weird solutions, and offering some weird solutions for Final Fantasy VI, which maybe we should look at because we're going to go back and finish that game someday. I want to. I like watched my brother. Side tangent. I watched my brother play it a long time ago when I was really little, and I have not gotten a full picture of the story, and I've wanted to have it forever, but I couldn't get the Blitz stuff figured out, and so Caleb and I were doing it, but then we stopped because he got tired of random battle encounters.
Well, that wasn't the only reason. But.
No, but that was part of it. We'll go back.
There's one there. There it is.
Yeah.
Sneaky.
Well,
this tree has worked out, hasn't it?
Yeah, that was exactly the right location.
I learned something new.
Yeah.
Which that's roguelikes, right? You learn something on every run. There was something I was going to say about something you were talking about earlier.
Regret? As a feature?
It might be regret. And that was an interesting way to put it because we actually have a different term for that.
Okay.
In game design, we call it flow. Flow is when you put on an axis challenge and mastery. And if you have too great of a challenge and too little of a mastery, then your players are going to have a hard time, and it's going to feel unfair. Like you're going to feel like you're always losing and that you can't make any headway. If you have too little challenge and too much mastery of the systems, then your players are going to feel very bored because it doesn't feel like they have to really put in much effort or work in order to get to do what they need to do to succeed at the game. But when you have the proper marriage of challenge and mastery, your players can get into a state of flow. And usually what the hallmark of a good flow state is, if you win, you just barely win. You just pull it off. If you lose, you were like, oh, but if I had just done this one thing, then I could have gotten it. And so it's the kind of the back and forth between the... And of course, your players are so different from one another that it's very, very difficult to get your game to a place where it's hitting that mark for the majority of your player base. That's very, very difficult to do. But... you can kind of like know your audience and you can get close enough for most of your players to have a good time with it. But it does require you to know your audience and know what the challenge level is going to be or what the mastery level is going to be for your audience. Okay, I think we have mined this out. It is time. We're going to run this and then get the relic and get out of here.
I will let you know our alarm clock went off.
Oh, did it?
Yeah.
I do want to see, what upgrade could we get that would benefit us here? So we got 9 resources. With 9 resources, what could we do? Better shields. Oh, interesting. A line renderer. I don't know. It might not actually be like a line. It might just be an asset that is like a repeated asset. Like it might be, and it might actually be a square. Like that's just being like a tiled kind of a thing. That I could see that being the case. Okay, so I think we're gonna grab one more of these shields and this other firing stamina one here. Yeah, let's do that. So grab this, grab that. That's it. We're going to hit the charge button on that. Let's go grab the relic and let's see if we can survive.
I think we're back to sleep.
Oh, nice. Oh, and then there's more.
Yay, tree.
Oh yeah, it has this really cool shader effect on it. While we're at it, I'll just grab all of this.
Nice.
I love that.
Yeah.
It's also nice because it could show you where it is, but I think overall it feels very impactful.
Yes, satisfying.
There's a lot of little juicy bits.
Yeah.
And no screen shake that I'm aware of. Screen shake's like the most common juice that you run into.
Uh-huh.
All right, here we go.
All right. Let's see what we can do.
How much do we end up with? We got 8 more. Let's see. Well, that might be worth putting the overdrive.
There's some specifics about the Godot shader in the chat. We're glad that we've encouraged you to play around some more with Godot. I mean, that's part of why this Let's Play happens. Part of the goal is to inspire you to think about new ideas, new things you want to play through, new ideas for how to make games or how to work through the problem that you are that you're currently trying to solve.
Ooh, there's a big guy.
Ooh.
There's a real big guy.
Getting excited about creating is playing games should give that to you. You know, like when you play a game, it should make you think about like, ooh, but what if I tried like this, or what if I did something like this?
Oh, I'm gonna lose.
Oh no! Ah! You did so well. Ooh, crap! It's like a drill. Hey! If you lose after that, that will be so
I think
sad.
I did it. I did
Close
it.
call. Survive a battle with 1%.
No way! That's amazing. Hey, Flow. You just barely made it.
Just barely made it.
All right. Okay, so it has these 2 really cool features that I love. So we're going to talk about this.
Okay.
This is great. So the map is there, right? And you've been playing on it, and they still have it. They have unloaded the levels. So they have this really cool thing, this time lapse. So they represent every block as a single pixel,
nice.
and they actually can show you where you went by which blocks you broke. And so it just shows you each block in sequence that you broke and where all of the resources were as you went through. Goed through. I did a really good job clearing this level out. And you can actually speed up the time too.
Okay,
so you can slow
you
it down.
did. What's the dark purple stuff?
So I don't know what the dark purple stuff is.
Because you didn't get very much dark purple stuff. Is that just really tough?
Those are undiggable tiles, I believe. Those are undiggable tiles. Or these are anyway. Not actually sure what the darkest.
Anyway.
Oh no, I think there are special areas that have like this, like where you got the seed. I think that was what was right here. This was where the tree was. So yeah, I think they're like caves. Okay. And little items are held. So like that bomb was here. Or here, maybe. Now look at that. I did a really nice job clearing out the spine. That's probably the best I've ever done cleaning out of mine.
Again, regret though. Like you could, if you had not done as well, you could have been like, oh, That's
if
what
if
the
I had
shape
gone
is like.
2 blocks over that way, I would have found the iron that I was looking for. Yeah, and this is a very simple mine, but some of them like they actually branch out and like go into different chunks, so it can get really complicated. The other thing that you can do is the show mine. So the mine is actually here available for you. It has this automatic camera mode. I like to just do a manual camera, so you can actually look and see what the final state of the mine looks like. You can see the solid wall is the outline here of where actually you could hit reveal resources, but I don't think that there are going to be any resources to reveal.
There was one, but that you didn't get, and I would think it was that one by the tree where we ended up planting the tree.
It's not actually a resource though. I wonder if it just glitched out a little bit or something. But yeah, so you can look at the mine and you can see, I was just almost there. There's actually a drill upgrade you can get that lets you break these. There's not actually any advantage to like going out into the middle of nowhere over here, but sometimes if it branches off in kind of like a Y shape, it can let you connect between them. And also you'll see like there's a couple chunks here of like unbreakable wall, and then if you can get rid of those, sometimes that's really helpful. Yeah, so I love this, and then once you got a new modifier unlocked, new gadget unlocked, and then we can unlock a new element. So this is going to be looks like new gadgets or a new gadget, a battle ability. So let's see, plant a tree in the dome that grows fruit to temporarily improve your movement and mining power. This could be really good because it would give you more movement speed, more mining power without having to buy upgrades. So that could be very valuable. Install a tank that produces monster repelling liquid. Sprays outside the dome, delaying the next wave of attackers. Trigger an active combat ability that reflects incoming projectiles for a short time. So this will like bounce projectiles off of you. Times when that could be really helpful as well. I've kind of been interested in this one, so I'm going to grab that. And that takes you back to this menu. And you can see now the orchard is here. But you have to give up your shield to get the orchard. To get the orchard. When you run. Okay. Yeah, so that's Dome Keeper. I, just for funsies, won't do the whole run of this, but I do want to show a couple of things, and I want to try the Sword Dome. I'm very curious about the Sword Dome. I haven't tried it yet. But there are these guild assignments. So I've done these too. So Showdown is, there is going to be a one big massive attack at the end, and there will be no attacks until that happens. Ooh. So it'll actually will go through 20 cycles that normally you would have to go and defend your dome between each one. Instead, you can just mine, and you can keep going until the big hits, and then you have to have made sure that you built up a big enough defense in order to mount to get rid of them. Iron contribution was really tough, because I kept spending my iron to do upgrades. And so you have to kind of come up with a balance of, do I actually save them or do I spend them? And you have to kind of make a decision upon what you want to do there. So I thought this one was very challenging, but also a totally different kind of mindset, because there was no enemies, no combat at all. It was just you in the mine trying to make decisions about what you want to do there. So this one actually has a maze-like map, leaning into more of the thing you were talking about earlier. So yeah, a lot of interesting things. I'm kind of curious about some of these Swiss cheese. There's also the Assessor. I have not actually tried the Assessor yet, but it plays very differently than the Engineer, which that could also be kind of fun to try out. Yeah. But I'm going to hit Sword Dome. Okay. I just want to try...
Yeah, want to give it a look.
I'm just really curious to see what the difference is going to be. So... Because this is just the kind of thing with this kind of game is you want to have that like core solid experience, but then also...
different world.
Yeah, different world, different color scheme. And so you want a different... a different set of features.
It's a sword.
It is literally a sword.
That's hilarious. This design, this background, looks like bones.
It has a guard on the sword that lets you bounce projectiles back at the enemies.
That's fun. It looks like rib cages.
Okay, there's the tree.
Pretty.
Oh, that's fun.
That's satisfying.
I just had to try it.
Yeah.
I wanted to see.
You did.
Well, let's see what the battle situation can look like here. Notice how different the color scheme is.
Yes. Green and red. Here.
Yeah, so there's a kind of a filtered color on the resources. The mine shaft itself is
it's
the
pretty
same
similar.
color. I don't think it's affected
our
much.
outfit is a different color.
Our outfit is a different color.
It's green. Because it was red last time.
I wonder if... What am I trying to say?
Oh, and it's instead of a sidewise grinder, it's a mouth.
Oh, that's a feature of the dome. I wonder how much... Well, I guess I've always used the same dome, so it's not connected to what the dome is that you're using. I was kind of curious.
You know what it looks like? It looks like Alien. The computer you're sitting at looks a lot like the space jockey setup, and
okay.
then we've got this mouth that looks very much like an alien mouth. The big teeth. You know, different aesthetics. It's a good time.
We're probably gonna get a wave here in a second.
Yeah. It sounds slightly different too. The sounds are not exactly the same.
I don't know. I can't quite tell. Uh-oh. Okay, 4. 4 is good.
Oh, shoot. You gonna make it?
Come on, Caleb. Get there.
Oh, shoot. Slice him!
Oh.
Do it!
Urgh.
Yeah!
That is so satisfying. Shunk. I don't know how effective that's going to bear out to be, long term.
Especially when you have lots of enemies. And
I don't know, though. If the enemies get close, the little ones, that would be really hard with the little ones.
Well, the little ones, what you should probably do is shoot the thing out. And it would slice through them
all. Oh, that's an interesting take. Yeah, okay. Okay, I follow. All right, we won't do this whole run, I promise. We're just gonna play it for another 5-10 minutes. And
again, interesting design though that our ship is what feels like the alien. It's that contradictory design thing that somehow it. But because we are cute, we'll take it.
There are actually 2 engineer suits.
Okay.
And the other one looks like it might be inspired from Doom. Because it looks more kind of like it's almost got horns on it.
Yeah.
Looks a little bit more. Okay. I have eaten the fruit.
Sorry, I keep hitting my mic.
Oh, they come.
They come, they eat, they leave. Shoot it. Dish.
Fascinating.
Yeah. It's solving the problem of like you're going to make you want a ranged attack.
Yes, I was really curious how they were going to solve the problem of needing to have a ranged attack, and I think they solved it.
But there's an advantage of a sword weapon type versus other weapon types. So that is just an interesting design choice for an alternative option.
Come on. Probably what would be a good idea. Like, you're not necessarily guaranteed to find a tree seed.
Right.
I was trying to think, like, what are your odds and, like, if you should leave something so that you could. Oh, that's the enemies.
Proximity. I like that you need to build up momentum.
Huh. Well, Lydia, what do you think of Dome Keeper?
It's not my kind of game, but it definitely is something that a lot of people would find really enjoyable and was good for a conversation about flow, about that balance between challenge and reward in a lot of different aspects.
Do you think it delivers on the fantasy it promises?
Yes. I mean,
I agree.
Yeah, the mining is really fun and satisfying.
Yes.
And it gets broken up by having to do the attacks, and then the attacks provide a different challenge and make the mining more exciting by providing suspense. Yeah. I think that it is it's an excellent little game for it's a small situation, you know. It's just mining. I mean, you're Dome Keeper. You're mining. You're doing upgrades, and you're like protecting this little ship thingy. And it's a small little world, but it's a satisfying little world.
Okay, so you get restract speed, damage. Yeah, I can see the comparison to Minecraft a little bit there, for sure.
But without such a big world, you know, you have like a small, you have a map, like a small little map instead of a big open world, and you are just exploring one little place, and you have a limited amount of time to do that. Limitations are good things.
Yes.
Limitations make things fun, and it's a thing. I was having a conversation about this with our 6-year-old recently, who was asking about a game I was playing, and like, well, does it do this and does it do this? Well, I wish it did this, and just being able to be like, this is a smaller scope, but the smaller scope is what makes it satisfying. And being able, instead of having this be a like long run thing where, I mean, you could make a version of this that's like a StarCraft version of this, where it is longer term and you have a larger map and you're building multiple domes and that kind of a thing. But it is good to have a...
Oh, that's unfortunate.
Have a small thing, you know, being able to have lots of little mini runs and a little mini place. And it's a conversation about asking, how big do I want this game to be? Do I want this to be a smaller experience that you repeat lots of times, or a bigger experience that you play through a fewer amount of times?
And that's a big question. Like that's a very important. I mean, even with roguelikes, you have to ask that question, because some roguelikes are going to be longer runs, and some are going to be shorter runs. Like if Hades has a fairly lengthy run time. Like, okay, if the first couple times you play it and you get just totally wiped, not so much. But eventually, once you get better at it, a run could take a while. And there's actually modes of this game where the run will take a lot more, a lot more time.
I think but to that point, you haven't spent as much time playing Hades because it got to the point where the runs were getting longer and it was harder to have that amount of dedicated time where you could not be interrupted. And that made continuing to play Hades, it made it a much more difficult experience because you were having to choose and time was enough of a limited resource that you moved on to other games.
Actually, I mostly just got frustrated because I got to Hades several times and couldn't beat him.
Okay.
I'll out myself. I didn't get good.
There's a pointing out about VR. Short runs are helpful in VR because people tend to get dizzy.
Yes.
And so it is a good idea to have it be a shorter experience, just so that people could you don't have to worry so much about you're taking care of your players. People have a limit to how much they can withstand that as a technology, and so you definitely need to make it be smaller chunks.
All right. Well, I think we've seen the sword, so
yes, it's fun, and I got to see a different world.
And you got to see a different world and saw how the color scheme worked out.
Yep.
So using the magic of television. Oh, whoops.
Yeah. Apparently, our camera has been wonky.
Well, I shrink it down when it's just me.
Yeah.
Doot. There we go. All right. So, Domekeeper. I have had a lot of fun with it. I think it's really pretty in that pixel art kind of way. Good pointing out of the sound effects adds a lot to it. I think this is an important thing too about your game is a set of systems that interlock together. But your game is also a set of experiences, visual, auditory, kinesthetic. And you can do light touch things, like adding a jingle when the little things bump into each other, that adds so much to the experience of your game. The game would not be the same without that. I mean, mechanically speaking, it would be identical, but the experience of the game gives it that little bit extra. And it's really worth it, I think, to take that time to try and find what are those things that I could do to give that little bit more.
Because that's what's memorable.
Yeah, that's what's memorable.
Because when I think about Domekeeper, I will think about the little jingling and the aesthetic. Like, that's the stuff that's going to stay with me. Then I will remember the other parts of it. And
you don't need to be a whiz-bang artist to pull off some of this stuff. They clearly have a very good pixel artist who's having a lot of fun with, especially like the backdrops and that kind of a thing. But you could even go lighter on the backdrops than they have gone and still make this game work just as well.
We were talking about Proteus. Proteus is a game with like rudimentary graphics, which is part of the point.
Right.
But they put all their effort into sound. And that is... you can pick and choose where you're focusing on, and maybe one thing you have more skills in than another thing. But that doesn't mean that you're not creating a good experience.
Yep. All right. Well, I hope this has been a good experience for y'all. Check out Godot if you are interested in that. A lot of people are having a good time with it. We have a dedicated channel for people who are making games in Godot. If you have specific questions about implementation details or coding questions, that sort of thing, there's a whole host of people who just love engaging about those kinds of topics. So definitely share that. Share what you're making in our what is the channel's name? I just blanked on it. Shameless Plugs, I think. Share what you're working on. We want to see it. We want to play it. Make it out to our prototype and plays. I believe next month is our... Boy, I'm going to say this and be wrong. I think next month is our in-person prototype and play.
September?
Yeah, I believe so. Because we do it once every 3 months, and that sounds about right. Because I think we did it in December last year, so it's been every third month.
Yes.
So I believe that's what we're going to be doing. Obviously, if you're in Georgia, might be difficult. So,
the next COGG meeting, it's usually the last Saturday.
Was yesterday.
It was yesterday. Okay.
I missed it. Oops. I looked at the time. It was like 5 p.m. and I was like, oh, dang it. I missed the COGG meeting. So this has been the COGG Let's Play, a place where we like to dive deep into video games and find out what makes them work. And if you have a game that you have made, that you have launched, then get in touch with me, and we'd love to have you on and talk about your game and then share that with people. That's the other kind of thing that we like to do on this channel is share people's games. We do ask that the game needs to be like in a kind of 1.0 state, like it's been launched out there, and it's in at least, even if you're still working on it, making improvements, it's in a quote unquote done, like released state. If you have a game that's in progress, please, we'd love to have you bring it to our prototype and play. That's a great space for sharing in progress projects. And you can just share those. We got a screenshot Saturday channel. Share what you're working on. We'd love to see it and talk to you about it. Thank you so much once again. I have been Caleb Eno. This is my lovely wife, Lydia.
Hi.
And we will catch you all next time. Thank you so much. And check out our Discord and our website at www.thecogg.com. Cheers.
Bye.